on that, obviously last year being in Birmingham and then going through the offseason, getting that renewal contract coming back, what went into that decision you wanted to come back to Birmingham?
No, I just thought we left something in the bag last year, and pieces were returning, and I won a trophy. Any trophy, silverware is good in your house to show your kids, and I thought we had a good chance to do so, and I chose to come back to this team.
And obviously with some returning pieces and also Nico Brett now coming in too, what's it been like, and Pasher too, what's it been like working with those guys in a new attacking line?
Oh no, our attacking line has definitely improved, and can't wait to combine with them, to build some chemistry with them, to have some memorable moments with them, because it is going to be an exciting attacking half.
Last year you talked about wanting to shoot more, and then you also played a lot of hold-up role. What do you feel like your role is in that kind of crowded attacking line?
Well, whatever the manager feels like my position is to help the team. I've always prided myself in being a player that just, if I'm on the field, the team's going to win. So wherever I can position myself to help the team, whether it's my hold-up play up front or whether it's coming in the midfield and turning players and playing them in behind, whatever it is, I just want to win a trophy.
And goal scoring by the end of the season, wasn't really an issue, but at the beginning of the season, it took a while for y'all to gel with all those new pieces. Do you think that could be the case this year too, or do you feel like y'all already have some chemistry built?
Well, tough to say. I know I came a little bit late last year, so getting a preseason in with a bunch of guys and then hitting the road running since the first game, I think it's going to be a huge boost to catapulting off of what we built last year.
And obviously season openers are going to be exciting anyway. Is there anything extra for you that it is against Pittsburgh?
Yeah, they took us out of every single year. You look at a team and you say, can we do it this year? And I thought we had a good chance last year, and Pittsburgh was the team that took us out of that hope. So we definitely want to win against them.
Y'all feel it go up a little bit in a week like this?
Oh, 100%. I think, especially this game, I think how we ended off last year was difficult. So coming up this week, everybody's intensity is pretty high.
So is there something extra to it being Pittsburgh? Obviously with the way it ended, it's just a regular season game, but is there something extra to it for y'all?
Well, the first game is always exciting. To come back into the season, it's always exciting, but I think it being Pittsburgh gives us that much more intensity to come out and perform, especially at home, and the way we ended up last year at home. So it's exciting, and everyone's, as you could tell, the intensity was high, so it's good going into it.
Now, obviously, defensively, it might look a little different on the back line, but you and Alex are still back there. Does that make it a little easier when y'all are the core of it and then having new pieces to work around?
Yeah, 100%. I think the core guys coming back gives us a lot more confidence. I think having Alex, Matt, Endo, and Roof, and Mikey, and all these other guys coming back, I think it gives us more confidence going forward because the team chemistry is there. So now adding the extra pieces, it makes it that much more exciting because we know the quality that they bring. So
I know a lot of last year was maybe not having a true left back. You picked up a couple there. Johnny gone now in the right back position. Got to pick up a couple on that side. What's it like having new fullbacks to work with?
It's different, but it's part of the game. I think going into a season, you'll always see new faces, but seeing the quality that we bring in, it gets me more excited to come to these games and these training sessions because you see the quality, and all of the players that we brought in, they brought up the quality. So.
You talked about not liking to lose even in practice. Now you got a whole bunch of attacking guys that you got to face, day in, day out in practice, a lot more than it feels like than usual. What's that been like?
I think it's good. For me, it gives us, me and Alex and all the other defenders, it gives us quality going against us, knowing that we're going to potentially be facing that type of quality coming up into the weekend. So it's nice. I think it makes me excited for all the quality going forward, like the attackers and everybody else.
So the past few years, obviously, making playoff appearances is great. A lot of wins for this club, especially as an expansion unit. But there's not getting over that hump just yet. How are y'all handling expectations this year? How can this team be different?
I think just the way we handle the expectations, just going one game at a time. I think so far in the past, even the past teams that I've been on, we worry so much about the end goal and where we're trying. Yes, we have that in our mind, but if you don't take care of business day in and day out during the week, those goals mean nothing. So for us, it's one game at a time.
normal, but did you feel it go up on a week when game week's finally here?
I don't think I noticed that. I think, we really encourage that we get an environment like this so that when you come to the weekends, it's competitive, and if you train like that, you play like that. So I didn't really notice a difference. I think for you might see a difference, but for me, who's here every day, they're competitive, and they do it up to the point where they don't cross the line either, which is great, which, our play gets us fit and sharp, and they do a good job of demanding the most out of each other.
I think I was talking to Fanny a little bit about it, and he talked about not liking to lose, and that's what ups the competition. Does that come with the high expectations, especially of this season?
Yeah, I think it's also a culture that we build. Like, every training session means something, and you got to be on the winning end of everything. And I think if you build that, it forces guys, or it makes them compete more. And so, like I said, when you do it like that, and then the weekends, it's no different. It's the same.
Now, I'm not sure many teams could have the 4-year start that a club like this has had, but at the same wins-wise and making it to the playoffs, but at the same time not getting over that hump so far. What can be different about this team this year? Well,
I mean, your aspirations are always to hold a trophy at the end, and it'd be fun to say it's easy, but every team starts out with that initiative. I think what we look at is kind of the growth of this group, and from day one, and ironically, we talked a little bit today, we still have about 5 or 6 guys from the original team, which is quite unique. But we keep adding to that core, and I think that core continues to grow, and we added a couple pieces to that this year. So what you're looking for is that chemistry, and obviously there's some, health. You got to be healthy at the end, but I think we have a team that's capable of doing it. But you find out through the little tests through the year if your team can actually do that, and I think through the course of the year we'll know how we pass those tests, and I encourage those tests. I think sometimes something negative has to happen to get yourself a positive out of it. So those are the little joys of playing and bringing teams together, I think. But it's a good group, and time will tell.
Now, last year we talked a lot about having a talented attacking line, but it took them time to gel because Juan coming in late last year and things like that. Now you have all these guys that well, and have a full offseason with, well, I guess Nico just getting back. But do you think it'll be a little easier getting that chemistry down a little quicker?
I would have loved to say yes to that, but we didn't get anybody in until late. Enzo's been out all year. Nico just got here. So it's really some of the same issues we're going to go through, but with more talented people. And sometimes if they're intelligent soccer players, they mesh together quicker. And, one guy I'll bring to note is Tyler. He just brings a different level, and he hasn't had many strides even with Juan, but when you see him in tight spaces and the chemistry they have, just because they're good footballers, that comes natural. So, but Enzo's a big part of that, and there's a lot of pieces to that we haven't even seen yet. So, in one respect, it's been a little frustrating this preseason, but secondly, we're getting guys back, and it's kind of encouraging to see already those pieces grow together.
And obviously a big question is replacing Johnny on the right. I know you can't, it's a guy you might not be able to replace. Is it going to be more by committee? Do you have to change tactically what you do, how often you run over there?
No, I mean, we've added a piece that I think is going to be encouraging, and Roof has done a really good job there. I think we have multiple solutions to that. And I also feel like we have multiple solutions everywhere. So it's going to be competitive this year. And, there's some tough months to go through, especially in the summer, and having a deep team allows you to get through those times because you can shuffle through that. But we've done a good job in the off season, I think, of building guys around them, and you're going to see that through the year. And I won't mention who they are. You're going to have to figure it out yourself. But I'm encouraged by what we've been able to bring in to solidify not just a good team, but a deep team.
And on that back line, I mean, I know Jake obviously got some time at fullback, but replacing fullbacks maybe on both sides, but you're keeping that core, Kavita, Alex, Matt. How much does that help when you are gelling on a back line to make sure that core is still there?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, and not just keeping a core, but a good core. The experience they bring and their leadership, goes miles. As far as a coach, you really put a lot of weight into those guys to be the voice, and it's not just what I say, but it translates to the field because, we prepare them for the week, but they have to solve things on the field, and having senior guys like that, it's just a pleasure to have them because their leadership is so important and integral to success.
And then last thing, obviously last time Pittsburgh was here, all the fans are going to remember that one. I know y'all are going to remember it too. it's a regular season game, sure, but is there anything extra to it for you?
I mean, I put last year to bed, and yeah, it hurt, but it also, I think, builds a new anxiety for the next season, and just because it's Pittsburgh, I mean, their team's going to change, and I think ultimately all you care about is starting the season well. Last year we had a rough start to the season, and we played catch-up throughout, and we did, but it's awful nice to start well and not have to play catch-up and let other people chase us.